What's also amazing to me is this idea isn't new at all. John McCarthy was a very established computer scientist of his time and age. Some of you recognize him as the father of modern artificial intelligence. He coined the term. He believed that they could push the boundaries and get computers to think in the abstract. They could get computers to have self-learning abilities. And this was his vision of computing back in 1961. This was way before most of us, any of us, had smartphones or personal computers, or most companies for that matter didn't have computers on the floor. And he says computing may someday be organized as a public utility. Just as a telephone system, or say an electric system is a public utility, right? You haven't invested the capital that is needed to build a nationwide electrical grid, but you can flip a switch and consume it as much as you need, right? So the idea that each subscriber pays only for the capacity he actually uses. And as I said before, I think this idea has been incrementally emerging over the years, and only in this decade have we really seen its full potential come to life. What this also means is it's not just a technology evolution that's at play here. I also believe it's a massive social evolution that's happening here. So to you as an entrepreneur, let's say you have a brilliant idea that you believe can change the world, it can make a difference to your users. You no longer have to go through some of these pain points we talked about, but this awesome compute capacity is available to you on demand. It's available for you to experiment your ideas and kind of test and learn in the market a little bit, right? Without needing a lot of upfront capital commitment to back up your idea. For some of you who are aspiring practitioners, maybe cloud newbies, and you're wondering if this is a space worth my time and investment, should I really be looking at this? I thought I'll pull up some relevant data to share here. So this is the growth of the cloud market, the public cloud computing market over the last decade or so. By most projections, it's continuing to grow at close to about 19-20% compounded annual growth rate. And I think some of the recent events, things like, unfortunately, things like COVID-19 are only accelerating that journey for cloud providers. As people are starting to realize that having infrastructure physically in their offices is probably challenging to maintain. They would want more and more, not just infrastructure, but more and more of their application workloads, right? Which would traditionally, say, in an enterprise data center, captive to the enterprise data center. They want more and more of those workloads to move to the cloud so that those could be accessed from anywhere on the globe. So this notion of ubiquitous access to your applications has become even more important today. Not just applications, the data that goes with those applications as well. I think most of you would know this. The largest three cloud providers today, AWS has about 32% of the market share, followed by Microsoft and Google. It is also amazing, every time I think about this, the idea that a company that started out as a bookstore, started out as trying to be the world's largest bookstore, today is one of the most dominant technology providers in the cloud space as well. And it goes back to this example we talked about, that they were trying to solve their own problem, the problem of capacity, scale, traffic spikes. And over a period of time, they realized that they engineered this so deeply, so substantially, that they thought, hey, this could be useful to other people too. And that therein was this idea that germinated, that we could provide these as Amazon Web Services. So it's a great example of when you are facing a problem and you want to scratch your own itch, there are probably a lot of other people who are facing that problem too. So if you can productize that, you can package that well and offer it as a service. That to me was the essence of how AWS came about.